Alex here with a high conflict child custody video on Title 4D Revisited. Now, this video has come up because I've had kind of an epiphany on this topic. And that didn't occur until I had a recent interview with another, I guess you could call them a YouTube channel. They're called Patriot Watch Media, but I don't think that's their primary way of publishing their content. I think they publish it on other, bigger, in bigger places like podcasts, and they have a dedicated website and stuff like that. But anyway, there was some, talk about Title 4D on the show, and one of the things that I brought up that I really wish I would have brought up in my previous video on Title 4D is the reality that the people who are attacking Title 4D don't seem to realize that there is popular support for Title 4D. The name Title 4D, it's this ominous system that is there to screw as many people paying child support over as possible because of the money incentive. The states that do so get a per dollar award from the federal government for each dollar that they collect in child support. But I don't think they realize what it was that led to Title 4D. What it was that led to that is a whole lot of people, single parents, with child support orders and no child support dollars. Tens of millions probably tens of millions of people probably were getting these judgments from these courts that awarded them child support, and a certain proportion of them weren't actually getting the money. It wasn't being paid over to them by the person who was supposed to pay the child support. And of course, you don't have to go many decades back to realize that it's mainly single mothers who were receiving the payments, and it was mainly non-custodial fathers who were making the payments. Well, the complaint was they're not paying. And so the response was, okay, we'll do it for you. We, the government, will collect your money for you so you don't have to do it. And I think that it would help the people who are attacking Title 4D to come to the realization that their main opponent isn't the government, it's the people. There is a whole lot behind why the government does it. I mean, obviously, it's money for the states, but at its core, the message to the people is we need to get rid of Title 4D, so you're going to need to collect your own child support. And I really do hope that those people who are attacking it understand that they're not just attacking some ominous governmental power. It's a whole lot of single parents who got sick and tired of having to do the work on their own, who are most likely not going to want to hear, now in 2019, that because of the evils of Title 4D, you guys are going to have to collect your own child support. And it's definitely weird to me because people have had to collect their own judgments since the dawn of America. See, and you can go all the way back to the beginning, and if you got a piece of paper, whoop-de-doo, have fun getting the money. That was just part of the process. You win a lawsuit, you're expected to collect your own money. If you don't want to, you can give it to a collection agency, but you're going to lose a big chunk of it because they're going to want a percentage of it. Well, with child support, it's the other way around. You don't have to do anything. The government collects it for you. They don't take any of the money from you, and they just get a big cash bonus from the federal government as a sort of pat on the back telling them, good job, you got that money for that poor single parent, so we're going to give you a whole lot more money as a reward and to incentivize you to continue to do that for all the other parents who need their child support and who don't want to go do it on their own. So anyway, I think that that's really the beginning and end of this video. I think that a lot of people who attack Title 4D don't truly understand what they're up against. It's not just the government. And in fact, if I would put a percentage on it, I'd say it's probably just like 10% the government. People like to get money without having to do anything. It's just what they like. I know that some people might argue, oh, well, You're taking care of your kids, so you are doing something to earn the money. That's separate. That has to do with the child support award. I'm not talking about that. Being awarded child support and with regards to and in connection to the custody you have over your child, it's a whole separate issue. This issue for this video is the collection of the award, just that one thing. With regards to the collection of the award, they don't want to have to do the work. They want somebody else to do it for them, and they could care less how it gets done as long as it gets done. If it takes paying the government, the state government, $6, $9, $25 for every dollar that is collected, why they don't care. That doesn't affect their world. That's completely outside of their life. Right now they're trying to go to work, pay, take care of their kids, and getting their child support is something that helps them, and the fact they don't have to do any work to get it, aside from maybe pick up the phone and call the agency and, I don't know, spend a few hours every day, that's okay with them. They're happy with that. I highly doubt that a lot of people would be okay with, let's say next week, just flipping the switch on Title 4D and picking up, all these court papers and filling them out and doing writs of execution and garnishment, sending them to employers and having them served by the sheriffs and monitoring the payments. They're not going to want to do it. And so the problem is going to come down to votes. It's not really a problem of educating the public, or at least not in the way most people think. Most people who attack Title 4D think they just need to educate the public that there's this evil system out there that needs to be shut down. Well, you need to educate the public, but they're not going to see it that way. They're not going to see it as an evil system that needs to be shut down. They're going to need to be sold on the idea that they need to go out and collect their own child support. So I guess one last thing, I wanted a couple of disclaimers here. This is my personal opinion. This is just a realization that I had. Decades ago, people couldn't get their child support money. The government decided, we'll do it for you. The people said, hooray, thank you, and that was that. And the other thing is, if you are kind of against child support completely, then this video isn't really going into that. I talk about that in my video, Policy versus the Law. So for people who aren't really attacking Title 4D, they're attacking child support in its entirety, then that's just a whole policy versus the law question. I covered that in a completely different video. And then you get into the problems of people popping out kids that end up on welfare and consuming social services and money from the government and stuff like that. It's one of the disincentives is to have people pay for the kids they produce so that they don't just produce kids willy-nilly and then just dump them on the state. Anyway, I really wonder if this is something, and this is sincere, this isn't me trying to troll on Title 4D people at all. I do truly wonder, and I kind of surprised myself on that interview when that just popped into my head. I wonder how many people really thought about the reality that this is one of those things that probably is supported by tens of millions of citizens. And if that changes your perspective, I mean, does it make it seem like an almost impossible task to really take down Title 4D when you have so many millions of Americans who don't want to do the work to collect the child support? So, and I don't know if I talked about this before, but in case you don't know, Title 4D doesn't actually create the whole child support, I guess you could call it, entitlement. All it does is discuss the collection of it. It rewards it gives the states a bonus for collecting child support. It's just the collection and enforcement. It's not where the actual right to get child support money comes from. That's one of the things that originates in all the states. And anyway, you could take away Title 4D and the states could continue to force people to pay child support. That's what I'm trying to say, is that they're separate. I think sometimes these things get all tangled together and people get confused. There's some people that will attack child support that don't realize that Title 4D is just about enforcement. There's some people that attack Title 4D that don't realize that that's not actually where you're being forced to pay. There's a statute in the state law that actually does that to you, and then there's all these other confusing things out there. Anyway, if anyone has any questions, definitely post something down in the comments below. If this video was enlightening to you as much as it was to me to come to that realization on the show, also post that down in the comments below. And if this changes anyone's opinion, I don't think anyone's opinion as to the harm that comes from Title 4D, I don't think any of that's going to change. But I do think some people out there might realize that it's not something that is going to be as easy to defeat as it may have seemed prior to realizing it was one of those things that's just supported by millions of people. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I will see you guys next time.